This is so great to see everybody here. Thank you for coming. I really appreciate it, and it turned out to be a lovely day. The clouds parted and we have sun. Excellent. It's closer to my mouth. Thank you, Claudia. All right. I like to use my hands when I talk, so excuse me. The garden has come a very long way in a relatively short period of time. I'll give you a little history. Back, Robert Pontraband, our town manager here, reminded me this morning that it was on a January day 3 years ago.
Yep.
I knocked on his door of his office and came in and said, we need a community garden in this town. And from there, it's been history. We've, Sarah Callahan, raise your hand, Peggy Griswold, who is not here, unfortunately, and myself were the founding members here. We started meeting in January of 2018. At that time, our meetings were sporadic and we were moving very slowly. Then, sometime in May of that same year, Sarah put on a program about local food in our library. And it attracted enough people. When we talked after her program and ate her lovely food, the idea, we started talking more about a community garden. And from that point, it just took off. We started meeting with Mark Wetzel. And I want my committee members to kind of wave your hands. Those are the ones that are here. There are a couple of people that are not here. Mainly Mary Jane Linskid. Scott had to work today. She's been a great help. But Claudia and Anthony, Jenny, and Sarah have been really helping me a lot getting this going. Thank you. Once we started meeting regular, twice a month, we started talking to local businesses to solicit funding. And that came from, we got donations from Catania Oil here in Ayer, from Compassionate Care, also here in Ayer, and from Epic Industries. They gave us monetary donations. During that same time, Sarah, Peggy, and I started meeting with Mark Wetzel, the superintendent of our DPW, and he was really a catalyst in getting this going. He encouraged us. He found this piece of land and suggested this would be a good spot. This is owned by the water department, and so here we are. Thank you, Mark. I'm sorry you're not here. After that, there were multiple steps that were taken over that summer of last year. In the fall and winter, they were included, but not limited to, clearing all the trees on the back of this property. And Zach Flagg, again, is not here, but Zach did this for us gratis. What a great businessman. He really loves his community. Thank you, Zach. Then came another surprise. Janet Provodakis, raise your hand, Janet, contacted me out of the blue. She had heard about the garden, and this was in the late fall of 2018, and she suggested that we apply for the Community Preservation Fund. And that turned out to be a major boost to moving forward in the process. Yeah, I had several meetings with Jesse sorry, Jesse, also from the Community Preservation Fund. And she walked me through all the steps, helped me with the application. They gave us great support when we went to the selectmen meeting, and the selectmen approved the project, and from there moved forward with until town hall, with the town hall vote in the town meeting. The citizens of Ayer approved that project, and Community Preservation Fund has allotted a whole lot of money for us to get going with this, and we've got money for the next 2 years to expand. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, town of Ayer.
And through the whole process, we started meeting with Ann from Growing Places, and Janet is here now from Growing Places. Growing Places has been a great support and guidance on how to move forward in different things, and Janet has come out a couple of times and done workshops for us, for the gardeners and the locals, and that worked out well. They help us, they're our fiscal manager for funding that we get in addition to community preservation funds from the donations from Catania and Epic, Compassionate Care. And then we got a startup grant from the New England Environmental Grassroots Foundation. Then local scout, Owen Slater here, gathered an impressive group of volunteers, and they built 11 raised beds in one day this past spring. Thank you all. Today the garden is thriving and functioning as we intended it to be. It was a community space and a place to be out here working in nature and growing things. It's perfect. Next year we will expand. We will add more beds, probably 10 more raised beds. And the Shobatech is slated to build us a shed this fall. So we need a shed to store all our tools are over there, and the lawnmower that came from Chelmsford. Open space stewards. Phil Stanaway there. Thank you, Phil. One other thing we've done during this summer is we take donated extra produce or donated produce to Loaves and Fishes once a week. I'm sorry I didn't get the amount that we've donated this year, but we do that regularly. Thank you, Ariana, for setting that up. Ariana is one of our gardeners. So just keep an eye on us for our progress. And now I would like to introduce to you, who's on our phone? Jamie Eldridge, our state senator. Gonna say a few words.
Well, thank you so much, Sheila, and good morning, everyone. And I want to thank Sheila for inviting me to be part of the grand opening of the Ayer Community Garden. And I don't think I have to say this, but Sheila, my goodness, you are a force of nature. I think we met at a rally in Ayer, and forgive me, but you were just buttonholing me to make sure that I knew about the Ayer Community Garden and that I would come to this eventual grand opening. So I am just so impressed with your vision and the celebration today. And you know, the movement is really caught up with what community gardens have been for ages, is the idea of locally sourced food. And when you think about when you go to your typical supermarket, whether your tomato or your strawberry or any other fruits or vegetables, you know, they're usually being trucked from across the country. And think about all the contributions to emissions and how much in many ways that's hurting our environment. And the community garden is obviously a very different model from that, of people growing crops in their community, where they live, where they work, where they're raising their family, and enjoying them right here. So this is really part of a broader movement, and it's just so wonderful to see all the stakeholders come together. You know, Sheila talked about Neshoba Valley Tech Growing Places, which is an amazing nonprofit that has a presence in Shirley and Lancaster and communities throughout north central Massachusetts. All the businesses that contributed to the funding for these community gardens. And also really happy to see that the CPC for Ayer and Robert Pontbrand and all the town officials like Alan Minoyan have contributed to today. Just so folks know, on the Community Preservation Act front, because it's great to hear that there'll be other community gardens built in Ayer, is Representative Benson and myself, as well as Representative Harrington, and really the whole legislature, increased the funding in the state budget to get the 30%, get the match up to 30%. And so that means there'll be more state funding coming to communities like Ayer, and hopefully that will help contribute to more community gardens throughout Ayer. I had a chance to talk to some of the community gardeners, and had a chance to talk to Sarah, just listen to her story, talking about coming from Providence here to Ayer and now being part of this community. Talking to Jen and Anthony, who moved here from Lexington to buy a home here in Ayer. And that's really what's so special about a community garden, is people coming together, exchanging ideas about how to grow crops, but also just getting to know one another, and therefore really strengthening the community. So this is a really special morning. I want to congratulate all the stakeholders, and I do have a citation, and Sheila, I'd like to present it to you from the State Senate. So it says, State Senate official citation, be it hereby known that the Massachusetts Senate hereby extends its congratulations to the Ayer Community Garden in recognition of the momentous occasion of your grand opening. And be it further known that the Massachusetts Senate extends its best wishes for continued success, which I know is going to happen. It's signed by Senate President Karen Spilka and myself, Senator Eldridge. Thank you so much, and congratulations.
Hold it up. Hold it up.
Oh, I think.
Hold it up. Open it so we can see it. Yes. Yes. There we go.
One of those.
I knew Alan would take care of this.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna give all my toothpaste. And next on our agenda is Jennifer Benson, our state representative. Come up and say a few words. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So I think Jamie said everything I thought of saying. I will add one more thing. I grew up gardening with my grandparents. It was a way of spending time together, quality time together, learning, intergenerational learning, and then getting to make meals together on the food we grew. And so I grew up in New Hampshire, a very long agricultural history in my family, and so it's so wonderful to see sort of this idea spreading to creating community over shared work, shared food, shared learning. So congratulations to everyone for such an awesome project, and I know it will continue to grow into the future. I also have a citation from the House, which, as we know, is much better. From the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, the House of Representatives, be it hereby known to all that the Massachusetts House of Representatives offers its sincerest congratulations to Ayer Community Garden In recognition of your grand opening celebration, the entire membership extends its very best wishes and expresses the hope for future good fortune and continued success in all endeavors, given the 7th day of September 2019, signed by the Speaker of the House, Robert DeLeo, and myself. Congratulations.
Thank you, Jennifer. There you go. And last but not least, of our speakers, well, I'll come back. Don't worry, I have more to say. But Alan Manoyan, who is the Director of Economic and Community Development in the town of Ayer.
Beautiful morning. Boy, did the Office of Community and Economic Development miss the boat on this one. You know, we always like saying in my department, we're involved in everything, we were there. Guess what, for this one, we weren't. Wow, you'll never hear me say that. So I was sitting in my office, I don't know, over a year ago also, and I get a visit from Sheila. It just so happened at that time, good old Alan was feeling overwhelmed with the workload, what we were dealing with, and Sheila came and said, Alan, I have a mission and a vision. We're going to make this happen. I looked at her, I said, oh God, I don't know if I get involved in this. And I said, well, and she said, well, you're going to be involved, Alan. Okay. And then we got together. I remember Sheila and I getting in the car together, or we met, and I remember we started looking at various sites together. I said, let's do a little bit of that. The main thing, though, Sheila and I talked about, the location is important for this. We wanted it to be accessible to people that may not have all the means of, you know, mobility, transportation. Instead of putting this further out in the hinterlands, which is often the first sort of thought, I really said, and I remember Sheila and I sitting down having a very thoughtful discussion with Sheila saying, we'd like to get this close to the traditional neighborhoods, you know, in Ayer, a place where you can get to, yes, by car, but that you may also be able to walk to from the neighborhoods. This is really important. And it gets to the heart of food security, which Senator Eldridge was speaking about, and being the thing that really builds a lot of community cohesion. If everyone can have a place here, folks in the suburbs, folks from the inner city historic neighborhoods, everybody, it becomes like a little mini common. It's the place we all, whoever you are in Ayer, we connect and we share this powerful thing together. So, my department missed the boat because I literally remember calling Sheila and saying, Alan, as I said, I'm sorry, our workload will not permit us to be involved in this, but I know others will. And I said, well, she looked at me, and this is what I knew. She gave me a classic thing of, pal, I gave you your chance, get out of the way, because whether you're with us or not, I know exactly where I'm going with this. And where am I standing right now? With her looking at me, with her smile on her face. She was a visionary. She had the vision, and she was on a mission. And this is what community development is all about. This is like the living incarnation of community development. Sheila, Carmen, all of you that made this happen, you are community development.
Yes.
Sheila, can you come to work with me now on 3 other projects I'm trying to make happen? Because, wow. Thank you, everyone. And this really demonstrates that Ayer is an amazingly transformative period in its history and time. And can you imagine what the next few years are going to bring? Sky's the limit.
Just before you go have a little snack and tour the garden some more, feel free to talk to a gardener and see what's growing and what they like. There's some more people I wanted to briefly thank. The Public Works Department, department van. They came in and did the rough grade here. The water department guys right up the road have been fantastic. They keep us in water. Because our water source now is that water tank. They see it getting low and they come and top it off. They are awesome. Jim and Mark Pinard, I'm sorry they're not here today. They've done a lot of work here. Some of it, at the beginning, they warmed up to us after the first projects or two, and now they're doing things just because they like us and they want it to look good. Thank you. John Hillier and his Turf Logic crew came in and helped spread out the stone and the crushed stone. The high school design class with Mr. O'Connell and Ashley Creel. Ashlyn did our logo. Thank you, Ashlyn. Public Access TV. He's here. Thank you. My daughter Sandra Harrison. Raise your hand, Sandy. Sandy's been working on our website and has done a lot of graphics for us that you see online. Union Coffee Roasters. They're great community people. They made a monetary donation and have supplied coffee and snacks for the workday that Owen put on. Matt Vero from the Alpaca Ranch in Harvard donated a bunch of alpaca manure. Keeping our gardens growing. Heather Krukska, I can't pronounce her last name, it begins with a P. She's not here today. She did this, and she's done some other signs for us. The one I kept in the back of my car for a year. My back window. Mary Finn, also from Ayer, did the sign out front that says coming soon, Ayer Community Garden. She made that for us. Phil Stanaway, I've mentioned him. Herb Iberg is a friend of mine who built up these elevated beds and delivered them. And Laurie Sabo, who we're getting the picnic table from somewhere. Thank you all. I invite you to wander around. Most of you have done that. Have some food. Sarah makes some lovely hors d'oeuvre things over there. And we've got coffee from Union and a cold drink with watermelon, something or other.
Thank you, Sheila.